right, so tonight we are going to talk about setting those old habits on fire.
Oh,
Ablaze. Burn, baby, burn.
Okay.
Yes. So, what do we mean when we're talking about this? What do we mean by setting your old habits on fire?
Well, some of those old habits when it comes to finance could be overspending,
Yeah.
abundance of credit,
Yeah. Do yeah. Yeah.
wealth management incorrectly.
Correct. Well, another thing I would like to bring to the table, one of those things that could be, my money, your money.
Well, we never had one of those old habits.
No, but this is just habits in general that people have.
But I don't even know how to talk on that. I've never experienced on your money versus my money when it became our money.
That's one of the old habits I think that you need to set on fire, though.
Okay, well let's set
because when you get together, it's our money.
That's right. No matter what, I always say Kawana. To me, that's from the same pool.
Yeah, I know, and especially because you guys know I like to put every money on a mission. Business income, business. House income, house. He says it's all from the same pot.
Yeah, I see it coming from the same source.
That's okay, so let's talk about these things. Why is it important for us to let our old habits die or put our old habits on fire when we're actually getting, together? We're preparing for increase. We're preparing for, our home to be open to receive what God has for us. Why is it important that we let our old habits die or go up in smoke?
Because in order for you to actually be able to move forward and grow, you got to be able to take those old habits of yours, the ones that was pitfalls. You got to learn how to overcome them. In order to overcome them, you don't have to set them on fire. You don't have to burn them.
I think
like
so.
A phoenix.
And realizing that, when you're coming together, when you're wanting to establish a relationship and a marriage and a family, I don't want to say this and be wrong, but I'm just going to say it and be right and step on some toes.
Ooh.
It might be considered maybe a little selfish sometimes to kind of want to not make decisions with your partner by being open, by being so hard, closed in to learning new ideas, to close in from your spouse's way of doing things. We have to be able to openly communicate why we do things the way we do.
Yeah, well, that makes sense, because when you decide that together you're going to overcome, you got to be overcoming, have the same agreement. You got to be able to do things alike. You got to have that same mindset. You got to be attuned,
Absolutely. Now, last week we just talked on you guys is coming together and establishing your personal financial vision for your house. And I hope that went great for you guys. So what it does is it exposes how your spouse thinks or how your significant other thinks about money. It exposes some of the things that they were used to doing or maybe what they've seen in past, relationships. Because here's the thing. One of the things we don't want to admit, or maybe we do want to admit it, that people just don't talk about finances. Mm-hmm. They are so close-lipped, like nobody's ever gone through something. I mean, they're so tight-lipped on finances. So then you end up going through something. We end up going through something just because mom didn't tell us how to get out of that said something. So the first tip from these old habits going up in smoke is silence is not golden. Not in the area of your finances. I mean, so many generations, thanks Sherry, because it is true. So many generations have to go through trial and error over and over and over again because we won't look up and share what it is that we saw our mom do, saw our dad do, saw our uncles do, and that we may not want. And that all stems from you letting those old habits die and communication, of what you saw maybe in your household that you don't want in your house.
Yeah, for me, I know I grew up in a single parent household, so everything I learned about finances was just through observation and watching and seeing. So I know what have we sat down hey mom, sit down, let me tell me how these bills are working out. I know we go to the mall. I know we come on with bags.
Swiping.
But where the money coming from?
Exactly.
Is it really a money tree? Is it like it's really growing on trees?
Or it's just swiping and coming out the bank. We don't know where it comes from because all the kids see is the swiping of the card. I know when I was growing up, one of the things that, and I come from a 2-parent household, some of the things that I saw was just no one talked about money. My mom had us involved in every extracurricular activity. My father worked 2 jobs. My mom stayed home for a good portion of my growing up life. But I never really understood how money works. But one of the things I can't appreciate is my father would always buy me books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He would buy me just those little, The Richest Man in Babylon. He brought me those books because I know that he was the type of person who wanted to make sure I had some type of financial foundation, even if he wasn't, talking to me about it, even though if I would have much rather his words, his testimonies, his overcoming strategies, he still gave me something.
And you're leaving those breadcrumbs.
There you go.
Breadcrumbs can work sometimes as long as you're willing to follow the breadcrumbs. But breadcrumbs don't mean anything if you leave them for the rats, That's what I always say. Gotta be eating breadcrumbs.
I don't know how I do these lives on Tuesday, guys. I don't even know how to follow that. Okay, so I guess we're not gonna let. I can't even follow that one, David.
Let the rats eat your breadcrumbs. You're gonna eat your own breadcrumbs.
So I'll just stay here and say, talk about it. Talk about where you want to be. If you can do this before you guys, go into the marriage phase, awesome. I mean, amazing. We combined all of the finances prior to marriage. We, as we were stating before, we kept everybody kind of out of our financial zone early, and we just started doing that because we were moving towards our vision and what we wanted to see. And it's important that you're just not silent. So that's tip number 1. Next, we're going to talk about some of your observational habits. Now, we put observational habits down here on the screen, but what I really wanted to say was don't be the lady with the ham story.
Yes, the lady with the ham.
Is it the lady with the ham?
It's the lady in the ham.
Lady in the ham.
It comes in all kind of variations, but everybody knows the gist of it. You have the lady that's making the ham and she cutting the end to it, blam blam, making it. And somebody like, hey, why you cut the ends of them ham? That's some good pieces of ham.
Oh,
that's how my mama did it.
That's how my mama did it.
So you say, well, you need to call your mama because she's doing it wrong. So you call mama, hey mama, why you cut the ends off that ham?
Because my mama did it.
So then we call up grandma, and grandma be like, grandma, why'd you cut the end off that ham?
Baby, because I ain't have a pot big enough to hold a ham.
See, so we can't just be seeing things and come to our own conclusions. I'm gonna go real philosophical right now, but it's called like allegory of the cave. It's like Plato, how you see these shadows, and that's how you believe the world is. You got to be able to see that and be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna do different things. I come with my own conclusion, not my own conclusion. We come with different conclusions,
right? The
correct conclusions, and ask questions, and be able to stop using observational habits and turn them into actual productive habits. Be able to find out where you're gonna go.
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to learn new things. Don't be afraid to ask the questions as it regards to finances. Some of us, me, David, are not ashamed of our financial journey, and we are willing to share the information that we have so you don't have to go through some of the mistakes that we went through. Back to the lady in the ham story. Some of the things I don't want to see guys happen, especially for my clients or people who I sit with, is, like the hiding purchases in a car. Can't be yourself because, you got to sneak and go out to eat or sneak to go out to lunch because you feel financially guilty if you don't feel like cooking. Or you feel financially guilty if you're the person who okay, I had it night 1, I'm not eating the leftovers for lunch. I mean, I want to eradicate that mindset. I want to eradicate the financial guilt. Just be honest, be open, and be willing to compromise when you're going towards your set goal. So if you saw mama do it, or you saw mama rack up all those charges on that card and not sit down and plan that budget sheet, if you saw mama make big plates of food for like 2 people in the house and it just all went in the trash later on, you don't have to be that same person.
That's right. Even like if you see your father going to Amazon buying things and he's like, "Hey, Pop, what is this? It's still in a box." You ain't got to do that. Don't be living your stuff out of a box. Don't be the box man. You ain't got to do that.
Exactly. And then just one more final tip, family, because I definitely believe it needs to be said too, because it shows out in your finances. If there are, like you explained, you wanting to, I don't want to say I got to say the bad words, hoarding purchases in boxes, or cooking for a lot of people that are not around, so maybe you want to do like a heart check. I'm gonna say the tough things. Somebody has to say it. You guys don't, you guys aren't sitting in my living room, but do a heart check. See on the inside what it is that truly, genuinely makes you happy. What is it that you're missing? Because let me tell you this, if you're a person who genuinely loves to give, and you make these big, huge, absorbent dinners, and maybe nobody shows up for your dinners, consider cooking and taking that down to a homeless shelter.
Or call us, and I will show up and eat them dinners. I'm just saying. Won't not, waste not.
I'm just saying, your gifts sometimes can be misplaced and shown in the area of your finances. So just take that, family. I hope that kind of sinks in, because if you're doing anything and it's not making you feel right, or you feel like you're trying to put a money band-aid over the situation, your gifts can be better used and better served and better appreciated if you just sometimes pivot and turn a different direction. All right. Anything else you got for the family tonight?
That was so thoughtful, and but what you said was so true. If you can do those things, basically what she's saying is giving. Don't be afraid to give, because God made us in certain ways. We do certain things. We don't even realize why we do it. And if you want us that like to make those big things for your family, and family ain't coming around, and
so you may feel bad. Don't feel bad. Pivot, turn into something, give it to someone else. You're the person who loves to share and buy gifts, and especially during this Christmas time, coming up on Thanksgiving time, maybe things aren't the way they used to be. Doesn't mean you still can't give, because there are so many people out here that is in need of your giving, that's in need of your presence. There are so many angel trees, so many birthdays. Don't neglect the gift you have because it's spent on people who don't count it worthy. Just pivot and turn your gift into great inspiration to yield your appreciation.
Nice. I like how you ended that. That's good.
That's pretty nice. So, all right, family, those are our 2 tips today on how we are setting these old habits. Man, we're setting them on fire. In fact, why don't you just write a whole list of what your mama did, and then have your spouse write a whole list. Well, your mama and your daddy, or your mama, or you just your daddy. Write that list and say, does this work in my household? Is this going to work for me? And then you be the judge. And then meet us back here on Tuesday nights, family, because we love to have these conversations. Thank you so much. Shout out to my wonderful, amazing revenue attraction specialist coach, Sherry Summers, for being with us this evening. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. We appreciate your time on Tuesdays. We hope we're bringing you valuable information. So please share this video, because sharing is caring. I did not even sing for you guys tonight. So,
I ain't gonna sing.
Anything you want to add?
No, I just know I'm not gonna sing.
All right, family. Well, this is Kiwana Thomas, and this is
David Thomas.
And thank you so much for allowing us to help put your money on a mission. Bye, family.
See ya.